Mr. Smets, thank you for having, it's very honorable to have you here with us in the 10th exhibition Supply Chain and Logistics and Cargo Truck and Van. And I would like to ask you practically to enlighten us. You are coming from a market which is pretty much wider and has a lot to offer in the transportation industry. And Greece is a smaller country with not just all this innovation in the market. So, would you give us your picture, your knowledge about what's happening in Europe, and give us some advice, a piece of advice of what we could do?
Thank you. I'm honored to be here, and Greece is not a small country. I think that Belgium is a lot smaller, but Belgium always has been part of the center of logistics in Europe. And why? Because of course we have harbors nearby. We have the harbor of Antwerp-Bruges, and also nearby we have the harbor in Holland, which is Rotterdam. And from there is a lot of cargo coming into Europe. I think one of the strengths that we have is that we have a good connectivity with all Europe through road network, also to rail and even barge. So this is one of the elements which created in the last decades a network from where we can deliver all of Europe through these harbors.
That is the problem. We're talking about interoperability, but in Greece we do have problems with the railway and the inland harbors. So what would be the piece of advice of yours? How could we be a better cluster of logistics?
Well, every situation, of course, is difficult. The problem that we encounter in Belgium and in Europe is the saturation of the roads. So there's too much traffic on the roads. Therefore, also we are working to create some more intermodality, to move, shift loads from the road to rail and to water. And of course, this will be part of the solution. But the biggest element for us is also to improve the road network and to make sure that we are able to collect the loads from the harbor as swift as possible. So even today, they're working on to improve the road network around the harbor. And this is the advice that I would also give to Greece, to make sure that it's very easy for all providers to make sure that the cargo is swiftly unloaded and swiftly on the road or on the rail to deliver to the rest of Greece, and who knows, from Greece also the rest of Europe.
Would it be a perspective for the Greek market? How would you see it being bigger?
Well, of course, we face different problems. We face also the problem of the driver shortage, which we know is a problem worldwide. We also face the situation where we are striving to become more CO2 neutral. This is also one of the reasons, like I mentioned, that we are moving loads more from trucks to rail and to water. But also we, as an operator, road feeder operator, we are striving also to use more LNG trucks, bio-LNG, HVO, which is synthetic fuel, and we even now using electric trucks, but those also have the limitations with the autonomy. So it's an end solution. You have to look at different options, and which I think also is very important is to look for cooperation between the different players. So of course, you have the port, you have the sea freight, you have the handlers, and to make sure that you have a very good connectivity with them to make the transition fluid. Also, we as a road feeder operator, when we have a client and he asks us to move goods, we will look for him what is the best solution. And if we believe it's better to do it by rail and road, we'll look for partners and we'll offer them an alternative to only road transport.
Yeah, very interesting. You talked us about You talked us about challenges of the market. Do you see it wildly different in the next 5 or 10 years?
I think we live now in a disruptive world with a lot of changes and also a lot of new innovation coming to us. It's not only the new trucks and the new energy and electric trucks or hydrogen trucks on longer term, but also a big change in, for example, the way that we do our planning. We use, of course, we do transport management system, we use warehouse management system, but there's now a transition to use more artificial intelligence. Even at our company, we are planning is partly made by artificial intelligence. So it's very important to catch up with this moment and to make sure that you stay on the train, that you're not losing the energy to be on front row.
Thank you very much.